Welcome back. Here I am already in AWS Management Console by Kyani IAM user account, and you can see here one instance which is already created and it is right now in stop state. When we don't need it, we can stop the instance. As you know, it is a training lab, so we need to take care of its uses. Here you can see that it is linked with the first security group and can see its key name as well. It is my first Windows Server instance. Anyway, we can move to launch the new instance now, but this time I will launch a Linux instance. Here you can see that Amazon Linux 2 AMI comes with 5 years support. Click on select to move for further step to choose the instance type. Here we will go for T2.micro as it is free tier eligible for first 12 months following your sign up date to AWS. It will give you up to 750 hours of micro instance each month, but when it's free usage tier expires or usage exceeds, then you have to pay as you go service rates. It is provides one virtual CPU with 1 gigabytes of memory, elastic block storage and low to moderate network performance. Click on next to configure the instance details. Here you can go for more than one instance at a time as per your business needs. I will go with one for right now. Rest all below settings you can leave as it is default. Here in advanced details we can go with the user data for this instance. What is actually user data? Here we can specify user data to configure an instance or can say by running a script during launch what we want to show on a home page or can do more than this. If you will be launched more than one instance at the same time, then this user data will be available for all the instances. I will copy the script from Notepad and paste it over here. Now we will go for the next step to add the storage. The instance will be launched with the following storage device settings as shown below, and we will go for all the default settings for now. Click on next to add the tags. Tag the key name and its value, then go for next step to configure security group. We will be going to create here a new security group for Linux instance as it is my first Linux instance. As you know, a security group is a set of firewall rules that control the outbound and inbound traffic for your instance. For an example, as I'm going to launch this instance for a web server and would like to allow specific traffic to reach my web server, we need to allow the unrestricted access to the HTTP and HTTPS ports, and for that we can create a new security group. So we will be going to create a new security group as we'll give it names Linux security group, and in description box we'll give test demo for Linux server. Here you can see that SSH is already here, that good to have for remote connections, and to allow the internet traffic to the instance we need to allow HTTP and HTTPS type for TCP protocol to 80 and 443 ports from any source. We need to add this role. Now we can move to the next step to review all the settings to launch the instance before launching it. Here you can see it is showing that need to improve the instance's security because they created security group, that is Linux security group, which we have created just now is open to the world. Not a problem, it is just from a lab. After this I will be going to remove this instance. Here you can see the security groups which are open for any source. Rest all below are fine to go with. Still have one site on it before launch it. All good here, and we can move to launch it now. Before launching this, it will ask to create a new key pair as this consists of a public and private key file. When it comes together, then only it allows to connect to the instance securely. We have to make it possible. We will create here a new key pair and give it name Linux server, then download this one. We will require it later on, and we can launch this instance now. Here we are. It is launching and can see the status here as well. Just click on this instance ID and we are here in instance page. We can see here that Linux server instance state is pending. Now it is in running state, but the status check is still not showing anything. We have to wait till it shows past check status up so we can connect to this instance. Below to this you can get all the details. Its public IP address, private IP address, public and private DNS, instance type, subnet ID. As we haven't created IAM role, so nothing is here. Can see the security group for inbound which we have created for HTTP and HTTPS, and the outbound role you can see here by default. It is allowed to all the destination from all the port and for all protocol. Let's refresh this to get the latest status. It is still initializing. We will try to reload this and see. Okay, it is still initializing. Let's see first by click on this public IP address what we get. Nothing is here because the status checks pass is not yet complete. And we will click on public DNS address here to see the status. Same here too. We have to wait till it passed all checks. Here you can see that the connection to the site is not secure. Anyway, we'll refresh this again to see the status check. Yeah guys, the status check passed is successfully completed, and we can see here below in status checks that system and instance status checks passed. We can check the site now by clicking the public IP address. Here you can see that this site can't be reached. This address is refused to connect. Why? Why it is? Go back to EC2 security groups and click on edit inbound rules here. We can add more rule for inbound here as well, like I want to allow SMTP on port 25 all traffic. It will open access to all the protocols for all port range, or you can select the source such as custom from any source to IP version 4 and IP version 6, or can also give access to my IP address, so I will get only access to this instance. And for all TCP, only the TCP protocol will open for 0 to 65535 port, and here you can customize or can select any option to get access from any source. We have already added the HTTP type for TCP protocol on 80 port from any sources on IP version 4 and IP version 6. Now save it. Now we will try to remove the HTTPS here, and if you go to connect this by HTTP only, then yes, it is working now. Here you can see that the welcome note and getting access from the private IP address. We can connect to the public IP address, but it can access through private IP address. If we are going to delete the HTTP access from the security group for inbound role, click on security groups to get the inbound rules, then go to click and edit inbound rules. From here we can delete the selected type and then save it. Oh, we have to delete the all TCP type as well. Okay guys, got it. Let's do this. Now go back to the browser to refresh it and see we are getting that page or not. It will be taking time to loading, but will now show this page again because we have deleted the incoming traffic from the internet to this instance. Whenever you see this kind of problem, the first thing you must have to check with your security groups for inbound rules. See, you can see here now the site can't be reached, right? This IP address took too long to respond. It shows that error with connection timed out due to inbound rule is restricted to get access into this instance. Anyway, I will go back to add again those both HTTP for IP version 4 and IP version 6 to cross check. After adding this, it should work fine. Click on edit inbound rule to add HTTP for IP version 4 and IP version 6, then save it. Let's see the browser now. Refresh it, and yep, it is working fine now. Okay guys, here we have seen about the Linux instance, that how to launch it, and the security groups. What may be the cause when the web server taking too much time to respond or shows the connection time out, where we should have to work on it to get it resolved. I'm ending here now and see you again on my next video. Till then, have a great day and bye bye.